Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Lagos. Let's start over. That's going to be a cutout. I know we're live. See, that's a planned blue for you guys. Okay, so welcome again to another exciting episode of Journeys from Lagos to Brooklyn. So excited. So I am Donnatella, and you all know my illustrious co-host, Bud. And today I am so excited. We have a brilliant entrepreneur as a special guest with us, Miss Nikita King.
Yes.
Welcome.
Speak up now. I know you talk very softly, but
Forgive me.
I really project.
Yes. You get a little more passionate. Conversations, it comes out.
Excellent.
That's good.
How you doing today, right?
Hi.
The weather's changing over. I feel that.
Yeah, autumn it's autumn, right? Yeah, the season is autumn, September is the beginning. Exciting. I rushed all the way here straight from my beauty chair.
You look good.
Thank you. That's what we went there. Yes. And
I could not do the show without you. I'm too ugly to have a show by myself.
oh, it's always the guys that say that,
Always, we gotta have a nice looking lady.
And today we have two. And I'm wondering, where is our missing co-host? I'm gonna say
computer is missing.
I know.
I keep loving his face. I worked this tail last week, so
I think you were good
I'm a
hard.
little upset with me. You might come in a little late, I hope.
I know. If you're out there, Peter Gordon.
We're waiting on you. You couldn't do the show without me.
Absolutely not.
Well, you are, but we really care.
Right. I need my rubber with a cause. Right here.
He's a good guy. We actually agree on most things. It's just that he takes his level of activism really further than I do. I have limits.
And that's funny.
He has no limits. He's ready to burn the whole thing down.
Yeah. And I didn't think you had limits until I
Listen, there are a lot more extreme people than me out there, and that's the truth.
Apparently so.
He comes, he's walking in. He's walking in, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what?
He's walking in.
So the way that I spoke about Peter, let me now channel a single man over 6 feet with good credit.
There you go.
Let me get that next guy. Let me get that next. So, I think one of our producers, if they're able to see, they can help Peter get situated. And he's supposed to grab the mic like a singer and just walk on in. But I don't think they're listening to us.
Well, let's talk about indoor dining coming to Jersey tomorrow.
Exciting.
Tomorrow, Friday, Jersey.
And I will be in Jersey for the meeting.
I'm a big Atlantic City person. I love going to Atlantic City. I love going to the big fancy hotels. The kids love to swim, and usually year-round it's the only place where on the East Coast that you can really just enjoy swimming. If you have, these
I'm sure.
kids and stuff. Yeah. So the last time we were there, we had an amazing time, but all the restaurants would not allow us to be inside. And there are too many people in Atlantic City to try to do outdoor dining. So the wait was like 3 hours, 4 hours. So we just did takeout and And it took away from the experience.
So wait, you've been to New Jersey during the pandemic?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
The day they opened, I was there. The day they opened, we were there. Last year, I think we did it twice, and my back was so good. But yeah, it was, you know, we love the food. We love this Cuban restaurant in Georgetown. And this time we stayed at the Ocean's Resort. We usually walk the boardwalk.
Okay.
And find a nice restaurant, usually from another one of the resorts. But everything was packed. Everything, you know, it was overwhelming, and it's unfortunate because there's so much money. Just imagine, you know, to work with, you don't have, you know, a place to dine, and they're on allowance, you know.
There's an element in Long Island.
Yes, Long Island and Westchester, and I sit in the Thompson, they're gone way far ahead. And what's sad is that, you know, the first time when we thought we were going to have indoor dining, a lot of restaurateurs renovated, bought materials, rehired their employees, and then they pulled the plug on us at the last minute. So a lot of people have really lost a lot of money and are still losing money to this day because not everyone also has an outdoor space where they can actually see people. So a lot of bars definitely have closed, and a lot of restaurants have shut down. What's up? What is it?
Oh, we're on the pause. You want to come join us while we're on the pause? You just got to grab the mic and have a seat.
Take out the HDMI cord. Take out the HDMI cord. We want to hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we have our right. Yes.
Yeah, I know there's a
Why the
and starts something and you have very solid pictures. Everybody goes like, I just want to post everything and you go for a minute or two. Yeah, but I thought this one was a little bit different because this really been the first time the entire team walked off. Like I said, you know what, we don't care. And it's a playoff, we don't care whether it's being counts or it doesn't count or we're not playing. And that had never been done. Why do you think that? Because most of us aren't concerned with doing away with white supremacy.
no?
So once we're okay, then we get a little like our then we're ready to go back and just let it go. No. If the hardest thing was standing up and saying, this, I'm not paying tonight. And since you had that momentum, behind you, but like I said last week, what is the next sport without the participation of the black talent? Nothing. We have to learn. Had we done that before, Connor would have never got lost out. If we would have shut that down like basketball.
You know why? You know why? We are using the wrong. This is for headphones.
So let me ask you a question.
We have to find.
So
We have.
you're the black player. You're like, we're not playing anymore until what? One day,
No, you don't have. You have to use. You have to use. You have to put it here. You have to put it here. No, we don't have to mic. You have to put it here.
Oh, that report that I read, they said during the meeting, more than 50% of the players walked out. Yeah, no, they wanted to live. Oh, yeah. And I was just like, look, there was a point. Why did you walk up the court in the first place? You should have just sat quietly at home and waited until it was time to go back. So they got your attention. Yeah, that was the idea. They got your attention. And then, so that's what I'm saying. So what are you going to say? So those switches is not stop playing until when we have things go too far. Had we started this when we were supposed to, then it would have been, well, we're not coming back to play until Cat gets a job. Right? We're not coming back to play until we recognize what Cat's means. But now it's a whole bunch of things. Now we're not coming back into the police case. We have to attack things, and this was a great argument, like Nikita said, it's a great opportunity for them to sit out and let them feel the pressure. Let them listen, so economics, like we always talk about. Let the sponsors feel the need. Okay, so you have the NFL season coming up next week. So what would be your pitch to an NFL athlete right now to sit out? Give them a convincing argument. I'm embarrassed that I have to pitch for them to stop, for them to just stand up for police brutality. So, what if an NBA player got shot? Is that what's been?
Yeah, it's happened already.
But they shooting themselves in the chest. Yeah.
I forget his name. He's a terrible player, but he got shot. Pretty
Yeah. And a couple of them shot themselves.
It's one thing. Even on that team, whether I think it's Sherrod Brown. I don't know if it's Sherrod Brown, but I know there's a guy in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Bucks, who also was a victim of police profiling, and they actually they beat him up. He was sitting in the parking lot, a CVS parking lot, and they were harassing him. Like he dragged him out of his car, and and this was like 3-4 years ago. So they've had issues in Wisconsin with the police and that team specifically. And he was one of the leaders in the walkout.
Because it directly affected him. But that's the problem, not just with athletes. On a whole, I think a lot of people, if they're not impacted directly, like even the people who seem to take COVID very relaxing, if they don't know someone within their family, immediate circle that passed, it doesn't impact them.
No, it doesn't.
And there's
some people say that it's fake and
I'm staying in a hotel. I'm staying in a hotel right now that predominantly Orthodox Jewish people are in the hotel. Not one person is wearing a mask ever. If you drive through the area of Brooklyn, they're not wearing a mask. But I had a conversation with my face mask and my mask on with a couple of them, and they don't believe that it's a real virus or disease or concern.
Yeah, and you're right. Again, I don't understand. And I looked at the tape last week, and I found that on that topic, I may have seen a little insensitive. And trust me, folks, I don't want to. I believe the virus is real. We know it's real because there's a patent to it that we can actually check, right? There's a patent to it. Somebody owns it. So we know it's a real thing, whether it was created in the laboratory or not, it's real. However, the method of transmission that they're saying is not real. It is not a real virus. Masks do nothing to stop or slow the spread. What is killing people is not the virus, what's killing people is the protocol of treatment that is being handed down by the CDC and the World Health Organization. If you put healthy lugs on ventilators, you die. And if you don't die, you at least have at least 20% of scarring for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
it's the protocol, it's things that they're telling you that you must do to these patients that's killing them.
Well, I mean, we all know that there's not a hoax, but absolutely, there are people that still believe that this was all. And I think people don't really understand what they're saying. It's one thing to say something is not right about this whole situation,
right?
And then something to say that this situation does not exist at all.
Yeah.
And I think our people have a problem communicating or expressing themselves properly and saying, this is fake, this is not. No, it's very real.
It's very real.
People are dying. But the manner in which this death is coming is in a way that could be avoided. And many people that went to hospitals and discharged themselves and ran out of there survived.
Because they felt something wasn't
right. Because they felt something was right. Or I know someone person, like I said, that was in there for days, and the nurses would not go in the ICU. They're looking at you. They're basically
they were afraid.
You're dying. We're not coming in there. I don't want to get nothing. They don't pay me enough to go in there. And
I know some nurses that said that as well.
Going in the ICU, so you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
But even the nurse won't even come and check on you.
And especially with the isolation protocol, once you were diagnosed with COVID, your family was cut off from you.
Right.
And even with regular times when you go to the hospital, it's very important to let healthcare know that they're held accountable, so that the family members are coming. So people were really left to just die. And I know that was happening also in Brookdale Hospital. because I spoke to some nurses that said they were doing overtime because people were too frightened to go in and take food trays, simple things, for people who were diagnosed with COVID.
You know, and that's why I hate when this when we want to make these governors and these elected people heroes. And no, listen, man, there's so much that could have been done to educate us better.
Right. Still now.
And to avoid so many people having to die. Yeah. The protocols from jump, and it's not like this thing just descended on us in one day. We knew about this disease from 2019.
2019.
Right.
And every scientist in the field knew this could become a global pandemic. And for us not to treat it as such is our fault. Not my fault, but the people that are in charge, the people that we put in those positions to protect us from these type of incidents, they dropped the ball. Or they had an agenda.
Yeah, there's a whole talk about depopulation.
And I'm going to dive a little bit. This man every day is showing his true colors. This man is going to Wisconsin
the president
to make an excuse for a 17-year-old that this 17-year-old was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he killed 2 people.
And before he even said that, he said that he would not meet with the family of the injured individual who started this whole thing, right? Jacob is his name, right? Jacob Blake. Because the family insisted on having their attorney present on a phone call, not to even speak, just to listen. So he discounted the family and immediately ran to the aid of the 17-year-old.
I don't think Mr. Trump, when has he ever come talk to a black man? I mean, I don't think he was ever interested in talking to the Blakes, about the Blakes, or for the Blakes. He was there to talk to his police, his sheriff. He's already commended them for their job. The man wants civil unrest. He wants cops to continue shooting black people. He wants to be able to say he's sending in this militia force, he wants to dog whistle his right-wing rednecks to come in with guns and kill us. Let's stop playing around like we don't know what he's doing. Let's call him out for what he's doing. Yeah, he wants more unrest. He wants more black killings. He wants chaos. He wants to cancel the elections. He knows he can't win.
Well, okay,
he doesn't want to go to jail.
What do you mean he knows he can't win?
He can't win. I think that
Biden cannot beat him. I keep telling you this.
No, he can't win.
We have to. Joe Biden and Kamala cannot beat him. It is impossible.
There is no metric that supports your argument. When an incumbent president is riding a 31% approval rate, you're saying he's a favorite.
Hillary it was way ahead than him.
This ain't about Hillary. Neither one of them were the president at that point.
Okay, you asked me why, and then
and this is why we need you here. But today, I think Bub had some extra juice this morning because he's going 100% and nobody's getting it. It's not just you. But I think the point that
I'm drinking water.
What are you drinking?
No, I'm not talking about the drink. I'm not talking about the drink. I just mean the energy for the day. So there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. This president definitely loves inciting fear and anger. He knows that wherever he goes, there's going to be some type of interaction between the left and the right, or the white and the black, or the white that doesn't like the black. I mean, what do you think when a governor and a mayor plead with you not to come to your town because you're going to upset the citizens, and you still come? I mean, I watched several shows with them talking about how he definitely loves inciting fear in people.
But that's what's been done for years before him. So,
but not to his level.
Right.
Not the blatant lies, like the retractions. He doesn't even have.
Well, they did, but see, with the young lady, I don't know if this is. I don't want to explain you, but she's absolutely right. It's just that it has been so covert.
Yeah.
Like, whether they're flooding the hood with crack, or whether they're inciting riots, this is what they do. What I like about this president, once again, is that whether you like it or not, he is the most transparent president ever. Not because he intends to, not because he wants to, but because of his particular psychosis, right? That is so extreme. He is incapable of. Yes, he can lie, but he is incapable of masking his feelings.
Peter.
So wait, let me finish. So when I say transparent, there are certain things that the people that really own and run this country, they can't make him privy to, because he'll be on the White House toilet at 3 o'clock in the morning tweeting it.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to appreciate that. Okay. And so
Are you having
wait.
empathy or
No. What I'm saying to you is for way too long, we've had savvy presidents, we've had diplomatic presidents, Reagan, Clinton, all these people that can smile in your face, tell you they didn't have sex with that girl, and he cannot. And we have to.
It with Stormy Daniels, bro.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you is on the real important issues. We're not talking about having sex with an intern. I'm talking about on the real life important issues that he thinks he's running about. He is incapable of standing there and lying for full period for a long time. Yes, he can go on and he can lie for 15 minutes straight on TV. But when it comes to things that we're not supposed to have, all these covert measures, he's not privy to it.
That is all fine and well, but the problem with that is that we're not playing spades. It's all fun and games till somebody dies, and black men are dying because of Trump.
It has to be,
and it's not funny. It's not funny.
It has to
it's
be.
Not. It's not refreshing to know he's so truthful. And my cousin just got shot. Look, I was looking at the stats today at the shootings. It's risen 169% the same from this point last year. Mm-hmm. If you look at all the metrics, other than just shooting, they're very similar to what they were last year. The only thing that has spiked are police shootings. And who do police shootings help? It helps Trump. It helps, these guys that hated defunding the police. Oh, well, shootings are up because you wanted to. They didn't even defund them. It's just the idea that you want to take power away from them. Yeah. And we see this spike. And
they are. Do you know why they're overfunded, though? Do you know why they're overfunded?
Hold on. I'm not even going there. What I'm saying is, do you really expect me to believe all of a sudden black men decided we're just going to start killing each other more than we ever did?
No. I think they have. I think
there are forces in play.
There are a couple things, though. There
are forces in play creating this awful soup.
I believe that too.
I believe. Okay, so I believe that, but then
that's
now
why this guy got to go because he's killing people.
That's not going to stop the black on black crime.
You know why? Because he's not going to prosecute them. An elected official this week. And Eric Adams got up and went to investigate the police to find out what's really going on.
No, because they're okay. So what they
Trump is not gonna. Some people they're purposely
delaying. They're purposely delaying.
So when you get someone that is of that, have Eric Adams as your president. You will see change.
We have Barack Obama as our president.
He's not Barack Obama. What I'm saying is it matters who's in office, because if you have the right person there, they're not going to allow this okey doke.
Once again, Barack Obama passed a legislation called the Blue Code Laws. I believe that's the name, which enforce this. This is not. You're just seeing the manifestation of what he passed through this president, like we do every past president. And every president lives with the policies of the president before him.
Yeah, but what Trump is doing
no one is here telling you Obama was Jesus Christ either.
I never said he was. I'm talking about specifically what's going on now. I'm talking about specifically what's going on now.
What's going on now is not inherited
it's just like Trump standing in a fire and saying, "This is the fire y'all gonna get when Biden comes." No, nigga, you're standing in the fucking fire you created.
You're trying to get back to a place. You're trying to get back to a place of normalcy. You're trying to be comfortable again.
He's burning that city and saying it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna be.
Those racists that are calling everybody nigger on the streets, that are doing it, they are not going anywhere, no matter who wins. You think they're gonna crawl back in their hole, bro? They're here.
No, they will call back if they face prosecution. If you stop enabling them.
Yes.
If you stop enabling, absolutely they will.
Saying the N-word?
No,
we're
not.
I'm talking about
listen, take away their guns, bro.
Fuck the guns.
No, that's what take away their guns.
I'm talking about the
you can take away their guns. You can make walking around with an AR-15 illegal. They're not doing that.
Talk to this dude.
No, but I mean, you both have a. I know we're still waiting on your water. You know, I get you both are very passionate and you both are very correct. But on top of getting rid of Trump and all these other little militia groups, there's also a big problem with black on black crime. Right now in New York City, we've had 1,000 shootings this year before Labor Day.
It's Trump's fault.
It is Trump's fault.
It's everybody's fault. It's Trump's fault
It
because
absolutely
he's not
is
doing
fault.
anything to help protect black
So
lives.
black on
He
black
doesn't
crime
care.
just started in
No,
2016.
No, he's
black on black crime has
creating
been
an environment for it to prosper.
Well, I don't know if he's creating the environment to prosper.
You guys are missing it
but he's
altogether.
also not doing anything.
How are we missing
Here
it?
in New York, you have people who are less employed than they were before, right? The pandemic has all the hustlers at home as well, so they're not out working the street.
Okay, but black people were making 40% of what the white earner was. So you still want to this is the norm that y'all want to continue. Women not making what she's supposed to make as her male counterpart. Black people
but
not
she's making more than the black male.
Right, exactly. The white woman, the black woman too. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you want to get back to a place of comfortable
no one's talking about that.
And still get 40% of what your white counterpart is earning. I don't want to get back to that normalcy.
Yeah, but you don't have to burn down the world.
Peter,
why not?
Peter, my only problem with you is you make it sound like Trump is an actual solution for us. That's the problem I have with your argument.
But
you make it seem like
you're
it's actually a good thing.
It is, but what you're saying,
how is he a good thing for anything?
Oh God.
He didn't say he was a good thing.
No, but he is.
He's saying that.
He is a good thing because not because he wants to be, not because he is inherently good.
Because he's a rebel rouser.
He is because he forces us to wake the fuck up.
That
y'all want to go back to sleep.
Nobody wants to sleep. Nobody wants to sleep.
I think it's more like you know what you're dealing with Trump.
It does, but it still doesn't change the game on the ground.
It doesn't change the game, but you have to strategize.
It does change the game.
How does it change?
How does it change the
game on the ground?
People are still dying. People are still unemployed, and right
he's
now
taking away more money from the community. He's taking it away. Where do you think those people are going to resort to? More crime.
Yes,
but what?
We need this mass awakening. We need it.
It's not.
You want to put an end to it by making things comfortable and getting Negroes back into that comfortable zone.
No, nobody said that.
Normalcy means mass incarceration. Normalcy means lack of housing. Normalcy means substandard education. All these things we want back again. Why?
No one said
that.
No
one said that.
But until it came in and Trump rabble roused, we weren't out there in the streets like we were. We weren't having these conversations. No.
Well, some people
we're having these conversations because of COVID.
Yeah, that's what sparked.
That's what started all this.
It's not.
So, I give Trump credit for COVID.
It's Trump's fault.
Yeah, it is definitely Trump's fault because he's the one that didn't acknowledge the China virus, right?
Kung flu.
Well, I'm not going to say that.
He said it was going to be gone in what, April?
Yeah.
It was just going to disappear.
It should have go away. If it wasn't for the other powers pushing it, it should have been gone. Yeah.
Our first studio guest. Give it up. Brother Kachi. Thank you.
You guys can take our credit, take our word that he's here. I think we could talk forever and ever about Trump. Yes. I would like to move on to another topic, if that's okay.
Absolutely. You're the now. Listen. I need to pipe down. I need.
No, you don't need to pipe down. But I think it's fair.
I'll pass the baton to you.
Thank you, baton. Thank you, 440 race. Okay. So I think we've already gotten really deep into our discussion, and we need to backtrack because the three of us are here every week and everybody knows who we are.
Yes.
We did not give Miss Nikita King a chance to introduce herself. and say who she was, because she's still here, right? And what she represents. So
That's what you gotta let me hold the mic initially.
Nobody paid for a
I
proper
didn't get
introduction. I mean,
Well,
You wasn't here.
I come late and everything.
We were
Well,
startled.
that's what
Okay, we're
focused on.
wondering what the hell happened to you.
Yeah,
All right, so you're the fault.
Trump's fault.
So, Nikita,
Please.
thank you for joining us.
My name is Nikita King, and I
Why is my
am-
son calling me?
Isn't he right there?
He's right there.
I can't with Bob. I really can't.
This is the beauty of live
Oh
inside
my
the West. So, Nikita, please.
Yeah, let's read some comments. Let's see.
I
There's
can't
no
read those.
such thing as black on black. Yes, I was going to ask that question.
Someone said there's
Exactly
no
is-
such thing as black on black crime.
That's correct.
crime is crime. It doesn't matter who does it.
Right.
Well, yeah, but that's not what we're
We
talking
can
about.
get to that. Hold on. Let's get that. Let that be our first question. But let's properly get
Oh,
her
okay.
going.
Okay, yes. I
Let me go to
am
my Facebook.
Nikita, and I'm a entrepreneur. Have been forever. It seems like. I'm a hairstylist first, cosmetologist, actually licensed cosmetologist, hairstylist. I have a cosmetic brand, and now I have a home fragrance and decor line that I just started. So because of COVID, because I could not work for 3 months, which I have never done
Nice. Yeah.
ever. So that was very, very different to be home, twiddling my thumbs, trying to strategize ways to do hair from Pennsylvania and Brooklyn. So it was very interesting. So I just found something else that I really like and made a business out of it.
So can you do me a favor? I'm gonna have someone turn off the fans in here
No, I'm
because
gonna
they're
pass
pretty,
out it.
pretty,
I'm
pretty,
gonna pass out it.
pretty loud.
No,
But it's pretty loud. So
I'm gonna,
do me
you want me to
a
die?
favor. Not really.
All right, so the fans.
Okay.
She said not
Can we
really.
can we keep one on? Can we at least turn off the
It's good.
squeaky
They're
one?
working
What,
unison.
is it
Okay.
loud? Is it?
It
We're
is.
okay. We're okay.
It is.
Nobody's gonna
So
die.
Nikita, could you give us the name of your business, because people need to know how to find you? So what's your
Okay,
Instagram
so
name?
my cosmetology hairstylist page is Nikita King Artistry.
Can you say that again for
Nikita King Artistry?
Excellent.
Nikita with a Y, not an I.
And the
my
name of your
cos-
skincare?
It's a lipstick and lip gloss line. It's queendom.cosmetics. for
Thank you.
Instagram and Facebook. And then my home decor and home fragrance line is Lit with Love Co.
Excellent. So
And she wanted to let the men know that she's single.
I did not want to let
yeah,
anybody.
wait, do not come on my show competing for the single available men. I'm the only single girl here.
Black Lives Matter, you know.
They do.
Especially when they're single.
There might be a very wonderful young man out there watching, a beautiful black woman, female entrepreneur.
Yep.
Yeah,
She's a godpreneur.
we celebrate that.
I like her
Did you
t-shirt.
pray?
You speak
My
well.
cousin,
No,
brand.
well,
No plugs. All right, I'm sorry.
Fine. I pray.
We're not talking.
Every
We're
day,
not talking
that's fine.
about the men's and the.
no. I'm just saying. I'm just letting it out
That's a
there.
whole other conversation.
You never know.
You do.
You never
Listen,
know.
we promote black love here.
That's the whole objective.
Black love is
We are trying to
revolutionary.
uplift the black family. So
Absolutely.
that's why I put it out there.
Well, wonderful. So we're gonna move on to our next topic, because I would like to talk about how sad I was at the unexpected passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Right. That was
devastating.
and what's worse was the fact that, what's weird about people and social media, immediately when they announced his passing, you started seeing people saying, oh my goodness, recently he was being trolled and ridiculed about his weight loss.
Mhm.
And now to hear that he's had this silent battle for the last, it was like 4 years.
Yeah.
And I even saw, memes where people saying, wow, no one in his circle kind of exposed his illness. But I was surprised when what's our guy who loves the New York Knicks, Spike Lee,
Yeah.
said he had no idea that he had worked with him side by side and had no idea that he had been ill.
Yeah, I just read that last night that up until a week before his passing, he really thought he was gonna beat it. That he really thought that he was gonna beat it, and I guess it just took a turn for the
Colon
worse.
cancer is
somehow.
one of the tough ones.
Yeah,
man.
and it just took
And-
him out.
And as a result of him passing and how much the world admires and likes him, the Colon Cancer Foundation, one of the really big ones, said that the traffic to their site and people looking to have tests and donations was up something like 170%
Absolutely.
since he shared
Good.
with the world.
I mean, once again, I just feel like another great one was taken before his time. I mean, he was really blossoming to
Mhm.
become a great leader. I mean, a great source for inspiration.
Absolutely.
He doesn't say much, but he let all his works do the
Yeah,
talking.
that's what I was
And he
gonna
was a
say.
great
And
family
he
man.
was so powerful. I mean, I didn't realize that we were actually at Howard at the same time. He was,
Yeah.
when I was a junior, he was a freshman, and he was in plays with one of my best friends. You know, just to hear people talk about him, I know some dancers that's worked with him, is just really amazing. You know, how many people he touched and he affected, and no one has one negative thing to
Yeah,
say
That's
about
true,
him.
that was
And
a cool thing.
that's the very best thing about it.
Yeah.
If you're
That's a
gonna
lasting
go,
impression. You
Yeah.
can't
yeah,
buy
you know, to have the whole world just feel that.
I was
grief and-
excited about where his career was going because I think he had the makings of a great one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, with the
down
roles that
road.
he played from the beginning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, he had great movies. You know, he had great roles. So, and I always wondered, you know, after Black Panther, like, how's Black Panther 2 gonna work? Like,
Right.
it was so incredible. Like that movie just blew the roof.
It was
off my-
amazing. It
Yeah.
was
You know, it's
amazing.
like, and it's just unfortunate that, you know, we never get to really see,
Yeah.
you know, in that context. So
Mhm.
Well, they'll
whatever
do it
comes
again
out,
because it made way too much money for them not to do
I
it.
think they
but
said they already
we
started.
just won't have him
Him in
as
the role.
our
And I'm sure
a
they'll
lot of
find
people
a way to
asking
memorialize
for
it.
Shuri, the lady that played his sister,
Mhm.
to become the. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm feeling that.
Yeah, she had a powerful role in the
She was
original.
fun. She was
Yeah.
fun. She was funny. She
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, I loved her.
I thought she was probably my favorite female character in the whole movie.
Yeah, very, very bright. I liked her. I liked her. So from Chadwick, let's transition. I grew up in Columbia, Maryland, and in a family where we really love sports. So when I saw that the legendary coach from Georgetown passed as well,
John Thompson.
yeah, John Thompson, I was just like,
Now,
wow.
That's a legend.
Yeah.
That's a.
I remember.
He changed
Mhm.
basketball. You know, I mean, you're talking about Patrick Ewing, who now is the coach for Georgetown.
Mhm.
You know, we were introduced. He recruited Patrick Ewing.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know whether he went to Jamaica or whatnot, but you know, Patrick Ewing, one of the greatest centers that ever, you know, played.
Absolutely.
And then Allen Iverson.
Yep.
You know, Allen Iverson at the
All
time.
the trouble.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
was in high school, he was a two-way player. He was a football player
Yeah.
as
And he was
well.
nice
And they
at
said he
both.
was better
Mhm.
at football
Yeah,
than
he was
basketball.
nice at both.
But John got into him, and I think he also wanted the mentorship
Mhm.
Well,
that
remember,
he was gonna get from John Thompson.
remember, Iverson AI was a felon,
Yes.
Yeah.
and he got in trouble at some. He was a graduating senior, and there was some fight at a bowling alley,
Mhm.
and of course, all the white people said the famous nigger. you
Yep.
know. And nobody wanted to touch him. Thank God he did get out. They gave him some ridiculous amount of years,
Mhm.
but because of was it Pat? What's his name? The ABC. He kept an interest in him and kept coming back to interview him, and they let him out early. Nobody wanted to take. No coach, no university,
Except
no
John
ball
Thompson.
institution wanted to take a chance with him except for John Thompson.
But
That's how they
he
got
has a reputation of being a father figure to
Yeah.
a lot of young black males
Absolutely.
on the court and off the court as well in the community.
And you know what I loved about him? He wasn't a watered down brother. He
Mhm.
did it his way.
Yeah.
He was in Georgetown, all pretty predominantly white college. You know, Big East. But he was a brother. He was
Yep.
a
A big
father
brother.
figure. He was a
Mhm.
black man.
Do you know where
And
he was
did
coming
it
from
his
before
way.
he got that job? Because how did he get on
don't
their
remember.
radar? Because Georgetown is what?
Exactly. I don't know.
Georgetown is huge.
I honestly don't know, but I just remember John Thompson when I came back. You know, AI was the first. I wasn't around when Patrick Ewing was with him, but it was really his relationship with Allen Iverson. And I was at Howard, I was at Howard, so it was like,
Patrick Ewing's sister lived in the dorm right above me.
wow.
Sutton Hall.
Sutton Hall.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, that's really when we were really familiar with John Thompson. He had some really cool players that played for him, So we definitely want to wish him well. May he rest in eternal peace.
Mm-hmm.
He did, he was a legend among us, and we hope to find more black men, like him. We need more of those figures that aren't just a coach, their father, their brother, and that's kind of, not to crap on Obama, but that's kind of what I was looking for in Obama. Well, you're the president, but you're still a brother. You're still a guy that is gonna call me and talk to me and provide opportunities. And I just never felt that from him. He was just, listen, I'm doing the job, and that's that. I'm gonna be the best president for this country, and that's that. And John did it the right way in my.
And you get the feeling that Iverson or Ewing or what countless amount of men that went on to the NBA were always able to call him, come back, sit across his desk, and work some things out. Because you got to understand, our kids are coming out, and let's say they're blessed to get into a major sport. They have no idea. Some of them don't even know how to write a check. They have no idea on how to deal with that windfall of money that they're experiencing. And I think it's important that we have black elders to sit down and show them that.
Another great stat, I believe, is his rate of graduates. He also made these brothers graduate.
Yep.
It wasn't just you're gonna play ball and you're gonna be a dumb job. You're gonna.
He was against AI leaving and going into the
professional before getting a degree.
And you need that. You need that tough love. You need a man that's gonna look you in the face and tell you this is how it needs to be.
Sure.
And so we're gonna miss him. His son is there, following his dad's footsteps, but
he's on the coach squad.
I think he was the former Georgetown coach, but they just never could really get a really winning
rhythm
program.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now.
Okay. So I seem to be the keeper of the topics, and then we're just going to flow into whatever. We kind of already touched on the indoor eating. This is, and for me with the pandemic, every day is like Saturday. So I can't keep up. I didn't even realize it's Labor Day weekend, right? So Brooklyn without the Labor Day parade, without Juve night,
Crazy.
And on top of that, as we're going into this holiday weekend, just yesterday, or September 1st, they started arresting restaurant owners, private individuals who are keeping these parties. So this is serious, right? So they've issued out a PSA of sorts that basically says we're no longer allowing large gatherings. And if you have a large gathering, we're going to arrest you. You're going to be fined. So I think there was a restaurant where 5 owners, multiple members of the staff were all locked up for having an event with something like, I think it was like 143 people present. And for me, they're just setting the stage for just running through and arresting everybody this weekend, because people are going to have parties.
And look, this New York has had a problem with the way black people party.
And the Caribbean Day Parade. They've had a problem with that parade for a long time.
Why do you just say New York? Don't you think they all have
I'm only going to speak on what I know.
All
right? When de Blasio came and took away that cabaret, lifted off the whole cabaret laws, it really opened things up for us in the industry. And then there were a lot of people who don't like de Blasio. They hated that because a lot of us made, there's a lot of, people made money.
Can you explain what the cabaret is? Because we might have some listeners who don't understand that.
So basically, the cabaret law allows you to have legalized dancing in a restaurant, right? Most restaurants are not even in the zones. They're very specific on the zones where they allow people to have cabaret laws. One, they're very expensive. You have to have a whole fire system that's like worth $100,000, and you have to be in a proper zone. Usually, it's meant for strip clubs, so they zone them all the way out on like Third Avenue and those industrial. So in these areas, you're not even going to get. So what happened is when De Blasio came, he relaxed all those laws. So he allowed for light dancing because before then, when they did these raids, if they come into your establishment like how we were on Franklin Avenue and they saw a party, they could write you up, fine you, and do whatever. With the relaxation of these laws, they took away that ability from these inspectors to go after. Now, the other side is that every restaurant now turned into a nightclub. Every black restaurant going to 4 a.m. Noise complaints, nuisance, people peeing in front of people's homes, fights. People want to drive their car on the street and it's blasting loud as hell, listening to your gangster music at 4 o'clock in the morning. Quality of life, so people, this is a get back, so what COVID has allowed them is to now reassess the way they want things to move from now on. And what you're going to see is the introduction of a lot of restrictions into the nightlife. This whole hookah thing, this where everyone now, there's a whole economy.
Right.
People are dependent on the sale of hookah and smoking it that New York State's not getting $1 out of from taxes. They want to shut that down.
And that's why I think all these fines are
all these parties, these promoters charging at the door, they want to shut that down. No more charging $10, $20, because that's what allows you to go to 4 a.m. partying. You can't shut the party at 2 o'clock if you just pay $20 at 1 in the morning to get in. So you got to stay. And a lot of these places, not only would they not close at 4, they will go to 5. I mean, it's just, we have a problem.
Give you an inch and you take that proverbial mile.
We have a problem with that. So they're cutting that promoter stuff out. You're not gonna see no more comedy shows and spots. They're cutting that out. You can't sell tickets and have shows. All of that is gonna be gone.
And let's not mention the underground speakeasies that I may or may not have been to.
So
I go till sunup.
What happens to all these security guards that are making money? Because every restaurant was having 2, 3, 4 guards working a night. These guards make anywhere from $150, $200 a night. That's gone. The promoters themselves, they were making $5, $6, $7, $10, $20,000 a night. That's shut down.
And I've seen them. They're very angry on Instagram.
Of course.
I have a friend who posted on Instagram just a simple text post that said, "Come on, you guys, are you serious? You're really taking parties that serious?" And so underneath, I said, "Hey, I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but do try to remember there's a pandemic. It'd be different if we were having the parties and people were still trying to practice social distancing."
DJs.
I'm going, it's not just the DJs. It's the DJs. It's the vendors in the space. It's the people who made a living off of doing consignment alcohol in the Black community. I know a lot of people
Chinese
do that.
Liquor stores. But the DJs, I mean, there's so many DJs. Everyone is a DJ. And we're getting paid, once again, anywhere from $150 to $400, something $1,000 a night. That's getting shut down.
Yeah.
The flyer guys.
Well, why would the flyer guys get shut down?
No more parties. You don't need no flyers.
I think with social media, the flyer guys are now
there's no comedy show. There's no flyer.
Social. Well, they better start looking at some of those Facebook rules.
When they talk about your restaurant, they want you to come in, eat food, and go. Play light music. There's no dancing.
They come in, they eat, and they leave.
But they leave and they go back to their nice communities and they sit out on their lawns and they smoke cigars or they sit by the pool.
The way they want you to do it.
But that's why I feel like a lot of the tension and violence in these different pockets of areas is so intense now, because it used to be you come outside and people at least are having some fun. These people are sitting inside these small apartments, some of them not working, not having income, not having air conditioning, and they're just mad already. So when they come outside and
their money is messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their money's messed up.
And if your money's messed up, if you're a man, you're not getting a girl. So their sex life is messed up as well. Right? So it's all kinds of tension and vice versa.
So that's the future of what we're gonna face, and a lot of people are gonna suffer.
So I want to think about where we are right now. So New Jersey is opening with the inside dining and movies, which to me is going to make New York City real kind of uptight and upset because we can't do it, right?
Didn't they open bowling alleys?
Yeah,
they're going to.
Yeah, and see the bowling alleys that I know that are in Long Island, they're allowed to serve food in the bowling alleys.
In New York City too, they will be allowed.
So I can't eat inside, but I can stick my foot into a shoe that somebody just. I mean, this
makes no sense.
No, you're gonna be able to eat inside the bowling alley.
His point is
you can't have indoor dining.
We can't have indoor dining here, but you can go to the bowling alley.
Get athlete's foot from a hobo.
Athlete's foot. The way the news is working, you can coronavirus from the shoe.
Yeah, right. Well, the way they're saying.
But that's why we're so angry at Cuomo and de Blasio, because what they're saying is just not intelligent. It just doesn't make enough sense. Just to throw these numbers in front of our face, but you ignore it for everyone else.
I agree.
You're gonna send kids to school to sit 6 to 8 hours
next to someone else with masks. What kid is gonna want to wear a mask?
And you know how that's gonna go. The mask is gonna go. The kids gonna give it to that kid. Here, especially that kid a white mask. He comes back with a red one. You're like, where'd you get this? I don't know.
It's gonna be a mess.
And speaking of the kids, which I don't have any, but I want to speak anyway. This outside schooling. Right. And it's already September. So that means what are we going to do in the wintertime? They're going to be in heated tents. But these kids are going to be outside. And who's going to escort each person to a porta john? Right. When the kids have to go to the restroom.
None of these things are well thought out. And here's the thing about
and the pedophiles that are in the neighborhood.
You got us to be so afraid.
Right.
You scared us straight.
Right.
And now you want to pull it back, but it ain't so easy. You already scared the shit out of us over this thing. Now you want to tell us, oh, nah, it's not that dangerous. No, it's too late, bro.
What about
I just spent the last 6 months
being fearful,
helmeted up in my bedroom.
And I don't know how people are going to the gym. Right?
Now you're telling me it's okay to come out, so I fucking wasted my time the last 6 months.
Wait, did it have a chin strap?
I'm just saying. I got people hold up. I'm telling you.
No, you're right.
Hold up.
Not coming outside.
In their house, like, nah, I don't go outside. I don't go nowhere.
Yeah. But and then let's talk about the athletic people, which I'm not. I luckily have a high metabolism.
I have friends they won't let me visit them.
Well, my mother told me today, right?
Gallivanting in Atlantic City.
Yeah, my mother. I have a group chat with my siblings and my parents, and I sent a message and I was like, "Hey, just send a text message. We'll see how you guys are doing. I really miss you." And one of my brothers said, "Hopefully, we can get together early next year."
That's crazy.
And my mother said, "Not until you get a vaccine, and not Trump's killer November vaccine." So
what vaccine will it be?
All of them are going to be killed.
All of them are going to be not.
And I just think my parents now have a retirement home. I just think it's a ploy to keep us from coming to their new home.
Let me tell you something.
But it's crazy.
This NFL quarterback said it best. He said, "If I die, I die."
Right.
He said, "I'm not wearing masks because I believe in it.
Right.
I'm wearing it because of you." He said, "Because for you to feel more comfortable, I'm gonna wear it."
But that's the whole reason of wearing it.
I'm gonna live my life. If I die, I die. I die. You gotta go. Life goes on.
The virus is either it's airborne or it's not.
That's true.
And if it is not, then masks are useless. And if it's really truly airborne, masks are definitely useless. So which one is it?
1.5 million people died of tuberculosis last year.
TB. Yeah.
Right. We don't hear about that.
1.5 million. Nobody was wearing masks.
In the entire world, or in the
nobody got vaccinated.
Right.
In the entire world?
In the world. We're not at 1.5 yet with COVID. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is, you got to take a step
back. But TB has shots and all that stuff.
But then why? But then, Bob, you say that. But then when the president rightly came out and says, listen, whatever, rightly came out and said, it's a flu.
Just
Why
because
did
he's
you
trying
get-
to kill black people.
Here we
See, there's a
go.
difference. There's a difference because your president knew these ventilators were no good. Knew
But they're still
hydrochloroquine
putting people
causes
on.
blood
They're
clots.
still to this day putting people on
Huh?
ventilators.
He
I
man.
knew
don't-
all the,
I
he
don't-
knew
yeah,
everything.
But the ventilators weren't just the problem. It was that people did not know how to use the ventilators properly.
No,
also
the
to help
ventilators
people.
are a problem.
Ventilators are a
Period.
problem. Period.
That's not even not
Differentiated.
they're a problem.
No.
If you don't know how to use something, don't
use it.
fucking use
You're right.
it.
But
Don't
telling
open
someone,
it up if
right.
you don't know what you're doing.
But
Why
but,
we
but they
putting
said
people on
every
death
day.
machines?
The health industry said every day, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're up against.
Let me
They
tell
said
you,
it every day.
Donna, I'm telling you,
I get-
we would have never took my brother to the hospital if
I
they
know that.
didn't make it seem like
Right.
he needed
Exactly.
a fucking ventilator to
I know
save
that.
his life.
Yes.
I
That
know
was
that.
Yes. You
it
see
didn't
that?
change
I didn't even know
till
that.
the end of April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
then they started the story changed.
Yeah.
But it didn't
February,
change for
March,
medical.
it was we need ventilators. They're praising some the governor of Maryland that flew in 500 ventilators
Right.
from
Right.
North Korea. He did this great thing. They made you feel ventilators were the cure-all.
Yeah.
Agreed. But it
And so
was,
we
there was the
ran
health
in there
individuals.
looking
That's
for
a fucking
ventilators.
shame. That's a
We
shame.
ran in there looking to put ourselves on the death machine.
But
That's
again, the ventilator is the problem with the people. Also, I mean, you had essential healthcare individuals trying to speak out and saying, "Hey, these people don't know what they're doing. We're literally experimenting on each patient to try to see how to help them."
It's a little different. The Thursday we put my brother in on Thursday. A doctor
remember.
called me, a friend of mine, on Sunday and said, "Listen, do you know when you go on a ventilator, you have a 3% chance of making it?"
Yeah, but they would.
knew.
they
Listen,
wouldn't
They
say
told you
that.
this after they put them on?
no, what I'm
was a
saying,
friend
this
who
is
wasn't
general
trained.
knowledge in
In the
hospitals.
industry.
If you go on that ventilator, you have a 3% chance
Is that right?
of making it.
And that's something that,
How this
You
information
mean
wasn't front page news?
Pre-COVID?
No,
Yeah,
this is
while in
while
general.
COVID was
While
going
COVID,
on.
okay.
Like I said, my brother went in on a Thursday.
Right.
The sister called me on Sunday and said, "Please tell me your brother's not on a ventilator." I said, "They put him on one this morning." She said, "I don't mean to scare you, but only 3% of the people that go on ventilators make it."
yeah, the statistic for during COVID. Absolutely.
This was known.
But they wouldn't announce that because then
Don't
everybody
push
would have
people
gone
to
crazy.
it.
Right.
But we're talking about two different things. Why wasn't it announced? Because then it would have been more fear than there was already.
But they were
Right.
making more money
I'm telling
in general
you,
for
they
people that
wanted
went on ventilators.
the
Oh,
numbers.
It was like
They wanted
$29,000 or
numbers. They
$39,000
wanted
per
death
person.
numbers.
Now you hear
Health
what
is
You
you,
got paid for
you hear what
COVID.
Nikita
Yeah,
said?
they did.
Yeah.
They incentivize.
Yeah.
They paid you 30
hospitals,
grand.
Wait.
yeah.
They incentivize healing. That's a problem. They incentivize different treatments. The government, $13,000
But that's
if
how
you're
health-
Not
$13,000.
13, bro, 30.
13 if you're diagnosed
Oh, yes,
with
yes.
COVID.
30
39
if they
if
put you on a
they put you
ventilator.
on a
Yeah.
ventilator.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's why
When
they
you
were
know
pushing it.
only 3% of the people
When
have a
you know-
chance. So you know that, and that's why I said they think we're stupid, and a lot of us are because we're willing to not accept that they don't think they did the math.
Right.
If they're incentivizing, if they're saying, "I'm going to pay you," don't you think they know how much they're looking to pay?
Facts.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Facts.
We're gonna
And,
pay you 39,000 for everyone you put on there, and I own a hospital.
Yep.
And you don't think I'm gonna be tempted?
And that's why they kept inflating the numbers. And
That's why folks are
everybody
coming
had
in there with a
COVID.
sprained toe and this motherfucker
This
got
guy was
COVID.
hoping.
Yeah, COVID.
You know, come on.
It's crazy.
But this is all happening under your president's watch, and that's the
Listen,
problem.
stop calling my president. I am not a supporter. I keep telling you
Well, for a
that.
second, you sound like a cheerleader. I
No,
want to get you
I
pom
am not a
poms.
supporter. I am just grateful that he exposed the fact that we're not in la la land in a post-racial society. We're still this country has never
But
ever
who thought that?
this country has never ever not been racist. And we want Joe to win so they can rock us back to sleep like everything's good. And I'm saying let's take the momentum and get some real change for black people in this country.
Here's Peter's real issue. Peter's real issue are Negroes that get money, move out to the burbs, marry a white woman, right?
That's my issue too. Can we talk about it? Because you want to
live in
promote
this
single,
utopia
my
that
single life
America is
and black
fine
love.
and racism doesn't exist. That's who he has issues with, because finally those guys are now seeing that this shit ain't that sweet.
Well, I will
That's
tell.
not-
I will
no, but
tell
it's
you.
more than that,
I
okay.
have interracial couples in my family, and they know it's still not sweet. There are some of us who are married to black people who move out to the suburbs and can't identify with the struggles that our black community has in the city as well. So it's not just about.
But what I'm saying
interracial.
is that there, before all this took a head, there were too many of us acting like racism didn't exist.
But I agree.
You know, we all have a fair shot. Just, you know,
Right.
tighten your boots up and go out there and do
Get
your
an
thing.
education.
Yeah, but
And-
I'm saying
and
that's
it was-
not just interracially married
so
people.
what
That's
I-
professional blacks as well.
Right,
So what
that's
I'm
what we're
saying,
saying.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I'm saying. So
Okay.
so this is causing an awakening.
But
So remember
more
when it
front
was
and
just
center.
me and you, Bob, in our Howard University, Brooklyn Tech?
Yes.
It's just me and you pushing Black Power, Black
Yes.
Pride.
But
Back
every school has always had a BSU. I was on a Black Student Union when I went to Drexel.
So but now, right? It's every third person that we went to school with.
Exactly. And it
You
wasn't
gotta
like
appreciate.
that.
You got.
Yeah.
It
They
wasn't
weren't
like
interested
that.
in this.
No. But you know why they're interested? Because now it's cool. I mean, let's be honest. There's a Black Lives Matter on everything from the napkin to the street to the
Well,
building.
that's part of
Even
it.
before it got cool, it's because we were getting our asses handed to
Right.
us.
No,
We
I
getting
get
shot
that.
like dogs in the street every day. You cannot continue to maintain this utopia. It does not exist.
Correct. So why is it? So then I don't understand. You're confusing me.
I'm not
Because
But
confused.
we're
you sound like-
we're not giving
you-
Trump
I just
the
know where
credit
you're. I
for
just
doing
know
it.
where you're going. I'm just
No,
not
but I have a
willing.
problem.
I'm not willing to give Trump any credit for
For
it.
No, but I have a problem with, and I love you, but I have a problem with you because as a leader in entrepreneurship in our community, as an educated person, degreed, as a person who struggled and worked and
Okay,
and-
all right. That's your fucking point.
wait, no,
You're struggling. You're
because I'm about
struggling.
to I'm about to
You're about to
shit.
quote-
I'm
you're about
about-
to shit on me.
I'm about to shit on you. That's why. So I want to big you up before I shit on you, right?
So it's not so bad.
Because what you're doing is people look to you. Like I said, we were the only two, talking about Black issues. People look at you as a person that's leading that community, and then you go and tell them or make them feel that a win for Biden is going to make everything
I
okay.
never say that.
Okay, and it is not.
I never. You see that I never. Because man, don't put that on me because I never said.
How do you, as a business
Biden.
owner, feel when you hear that shit?
Booyah!
You know what it is? You factor in these costs.
Right.
at the end of the
Okay.
day.
Okay.
It's just like when you hire someone new, you know you're gonna lose X
Money while
amount
they're
of
training.
while they-
Right.
So this is just you know.
Okay.
And then you get some guys that just don't like you and don't give a shit. So they're gonna break every dish, every shift they work.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
See, like those people.
Right.
Her little mask face is like,
So what I'm saying is don't be upset at me because that is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, look, even during the Clinton, I remember the Clinton years. I was in Fairfax, Virginia during the Clinton years. Everyone I knew had stocks, bonds, buying a house. Like the economy was booming.
Oh,
AOL
yeah.
stock was like everyone
I
had
did
AOL
well.
stock. I mean,
Yeah, I did well during
You know,
Clinton, yeah.
now, I just want to get back to those. Yes, the wars and there was a lot of other
Clinton
shit.
was sending
but-
more of us to prison more than any other president in American
okay,
history.
Okay,
So
whatever.
he
I'm
lulled us
just
to
saying,
sleep
to
with a good
me-
economy.
To me, I'm not saying it was perfect, but get what I'm just saying.
we've got some
But
really
it's
great
better.
comments.
So you want to
It's
get back
better
to a
than what
comfortable
we're
place.
going through right
You want to
now.
embrace white supremacy on the level
No,
that you're
I don't want to
comfortable
embrace
with.
it in
And
any
that's
way.
a problem I have.
I don't embrace white supremacy in any way. What I'm saying is,
Either you want to
we have
do
a
away with
choice
it,
to void.
either
To
you want to
void,
do
to
away
vote.
with it or
I have a
not.
question about the stock market because it seems right now like Trump is manipulating the stock market.
Absolutely.
Of course he is.
Absolutely.
I actually bought stocks today.
Absolutely.
I'm not stupid. I'm gonna take advantage of what I can take advantage of.
Oh,
That
my
doesn't mean
goodness.
I want him there.
Right.
You know,
but let me tell you what he did. So I trade during the day. I have my program where I teach others, folks, how to make money using the stock market. The day that they have this thing when you're trading and the market starts to really decline, they have something called the circuit breaker.
yes.
So much like the circuit breaker in your house, if there is a surge of energy, it'll just shut down, right? So you don't have any issues. So they shut down the stock market this day because once it hit 7% loss, they shut it down. It went 7, went to 13, they shut it down. Now, I don't have a problem with the circuit breaker because what it does, it gives us traders a chance to rally back up and get back to a nice place. But what they did that day was they shut it down, and then Trump threw in that $1.5 trillion stimulus,
Right.
stock stimulus, and he kept us shut out. So the big boys feasted on that all day. And then the next day, when you logged in to start trading, before you had a $22,500 minimum to trade. Now it's $12,500. So they locked a lot of people couldn't get back in and play. And so they've been feasting. And all of these CEOs, if you notice, the CEOs for these big companies have been cashing in their stocks and leaving.
You saw
and
that.
retiring.
Absolutely.
Hundreds of them. But this was even months before
COVID started.
So come on, this is a pandemic, as they say. But yes, the market but Trump has been manipulating the market from before that. Now, am I mad? No, because I play the market. You know what I mean?
But it's not the best thing for the country. I mean, I'm just, bro.
No, I hear you.
I want to get back to having a decent life. Shit's bad, right? And I can only speak from my experiences. When I'm sitting in my car, somewhere in Flatbush, by myself, waiting on my wife and kids to come out the house, and I'm like, you know what? I could get shot right now, just sitting here listening to the goddamn radio.
People are getting shot like that.
I could just get killed right now for no reason. And I never had those thoughts before this year.
Well, I think it's been happening.
It's been in right.
Yeah, but that's been happening.
If you go with the statistics, as you say, and you get shot, guess who's gonna be? It's gonna be one of us,
bro. What's happening in New York City right now is on another level. We're not talking about, some drug bust or, guys. We're talking about random ass people. One guy got shot in front of 2 cops 2 days ago, standing just by the side of his car.
Yeah, but he got. Is that the guy that got shot by the random bullet?
No, a drive-by. They were on a scooter.
And the cops didn't get a lick?
They ain't chasing nothing.
No, they didn't pick up a bullet. No,
they hit the innocent.
Shot the guy right in front of the car and kept. How is that?
That's crazy.
I saw the footage. It wasn't actually like
right
that.
Now, but this is not normal. It's not real.
Well, I think
not normal.
No, but part of the reason why it's not normal is because after we announced we wanted to defund the police, in my opinion,
all started from that point.
Bob? Thank you. I'm saying it did start from that point, but what happens if you tell the police, F you, I don't need you, I don't like you, then in those communities where they used to have these high foot patrols, I think the violence has peaked because they're not on the streets like they used to be. There are areas in Brooklyn that used to have high patrol, and I think that was a deterrent for some of the violence that was happening within our community.
But this is my point, Bob. You see what you said? This is not normal. So you want to get back to the normal where only 8 people get killed on the weekend as opposed to 18. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no.
You want a normal that's.
I want to get to a normal where I can look at the factors causing the violence and address those factors.
Black men killing black men is not normal. You don't see any other group have a normal rate of Chinese killing Chinese, Russian killing.
Let's get to the factors of why black men. There are a lot of reasons why black men kill each other. What I'm saying is, let's deal with those issues. Let's not have an artificial inflation because of Mr. Trump. Let's deal with the issues of why black men are killing each other. Let's not have an artificial, addition to the problem. that no one can solve, that has no answer other than giving the police union another $1 billion, and then everything goes back to that normal.
So what do you think the issues are why black men are killing each other?
We ain't got enough time.
We got time. I got time. I came back because I want to hear this.
Okay, very fundamentally, Christianity.
Oh,
Why?
Facts.
Because you are ingrained to worship a white God. And you're told that God, you are made in his image and likeness. And if this God is white, he made white people, right? So you believe that this is automatically not of God and it's inferior to this other thing. So that's why we don't have a respect. We don't respect each other because everything is based on this deity, this white God, and everything falls down from there. So that's the first fundamental reason why brothers cannot like each other, cannot negotiate. We don't trust each other because look, we're depicted as the demon.
Right.
We're the devil.
Yep.
This is ingrained from the time you're born.
I don't
drill this in you.
I don't
You go to
believe that.
church, you drilled it. You don't have to believe it. You ask me a question.
No,
I'm
I
answering.
get it. Which is why I'm
So
letting
you're
you
drilled.
speak.
It's called indoctrination. That's why slavery went on for so long.
Right.
That's why colonialism went on for so long. That's why black people are still at the bottom of the universe.
Facts.
Because we have no self-esteem, no self-pride. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe we have the ability to walk on our own. That's why we kill ourselves. So the minute we get rid of that nonsense religion and start believing in a God that looks like us, believing in ourselves and loving ourselves, loving our history, embracing our history, you can't kill a man you love.
Right.
It don't work that way. But if I don't like you, if you're the devil, I don't respect you.
Black men don't even, when we walk down the street and see each other, we don't greet each other. We don't
don't.
even make eye contact. And
That's
if we
not all black men.
and
but,
if we do make eye contact, we're mean mugging. We want to see who looks away first.
You
Yeah,
go
that's
in
not
the
normal.
You go in the
More
conscious
often than
community,
not, that don't.
see how brothers treat each other.
Yeah.
They hug. They brother, I love you.
Even in
Brother,
the
let's
Caribbean,
build.
they do
Let's
that.
talk. That's how me and Peter are so close. Because we have a certain consciousness that will never translate into me shooting this man
Correct.
or me doing something foul to him, because I'm destabilizing my people. I'm destabilizing our culture, our community. It's a bigger purpose to be in that conscious community. But when you're not in it, you want to assimilate. So you don't care about community. It's about you advancing yourself over and on top and at the expense of everyone around you.
Everyone around
Yep.
you. Now,
Thank you, Bob.
now, mind you, studies, this country does things 20, 30, 40, 100 years in advance. So before they came out with these projects, because that's what it were, the housing projects, they did studies with rats and they put them in similar living conditions on top of each other, tiered. And they gave them a certain amount of food. They gave them a certain amount of living space. And they just watched when they inflict certain conditions, certain dynamics, what conditions follow. And they knew that we were going to be killing each other, because after a while, the rats, when they couldn't get any more food, they started eating each other. That's us turning on each other. That's us selling our sisters drugs. But they knew it. So on top of the religious thing, there's a whole political aspect to it where laws are put into place to bring about certain conditions. And they know once those conditions are in effect, this is what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And so here we are. So my point is, why are we going back and doing the same thing and expecting different results? Sitting down and working, and I'm not telling anybody not to vote at all. You do what you feel is going to bring. But if you feel that after 37 years of being in the House, that this man is all of a sudden going to have remorse on the policies that he stepped on your neck with and now help you propel you to the next level of society, it ain't going to happen. Well, it ain't.
I just say we have to vote the lesser of two evils, but the focus still remains on our community. We have to continue to build our community. We're not looking for the political system to ever really uplift us. We have to do the uplifting. We have to,
Yeah, I
and
always
and
say
and
that.
that's never going to change. But we still live in a society where we have to coexist with others, and for the greater good of that society, we have to put the most qualified people in place. And Trump is just not qualified.
Oh, for sure.
I'd rather have Kamala Harris running the country.
Oh,
That's simple.
okay.
She's brighter. She's smarter.
So you think that if Joe wins, she's the one that's really going to be doing that
I
thing?
see. I didn't even have to say that.
For you to bring it out.
I didn't have to say that.
Okay, I need to just give a PSA to our audience at the advisement of our producers. Once again, we are live in Amarachi Restaurant, which is located on the Manhattan Bridge. Feel free to visit us and sit outside because there's no indoor dining in New York City. But I just wanted to address some of the noises that you're hearing. We're seated close to the kitchen, and lucky for us, there are customers, and so people are going back and forth. So we don't have any more bullet points for the show. So we can just talk about whatever.
Well, the young lady said she wanted to get into interracial marriages. I think that's a
Well,
great topic.
it wasn't just interracial marriages. It was just the mentality that leaving your people to go to other is better.
That's not what. So I'm gonna speak from my family because I have a lot of. One of my brothers is married to someone who's a non-black person, right? And I love her dearly because I'm sure she's watching.
What type of
Um,
non-black? That's
she's
important.
well, she's brown, I guess. She's Cuban and Puerto Rican.
Oh, well, I
Okay.
consider that. one.
But and my first cousin is married to a white female. Another one of my first cousins is married to a Jewish male. But one of the things that I wanted to address in terms of it being better, I was going to speak about my brother. So when my brother was dating before he married this young lady, I wanted to choke some of the black women that he tried to date. My brother flew as far as the West Coast to the East Coast for a date with a young lady who was a news anchor. She showed up to the first date with her 7-year-old daughter, right? And I guess that was her way of saying, "This is the package. This is how we come." I remember my brother flew from the West Coast all the way down south to date a sister who was an attorney. So he tried. What? What? What does that say? She's black. Who's black?
Cuban and
The
Puerto
Cuban
Rican.
and Puerto Rican. She's
I thought
black.
they were like, that's
No,
not
so here's the funny thing though. But if you look at her, she doesn't look black at all. But and neither does her sister. But at her wedding, she stood up and said she was octoroon at the reception, and that she was 8% black. And my cousins and aunties from Tennessee was like, "She's a what? What did she say?"
Because
So-
there's no, there's no value to being black, and that's what society. And this is the problem. Like I have, it's not really about skin color. It's really about a mentality. You see, are you marrying someone because you feel black people are not good enough, or you feel you have an inferiority complex, or you just genuinely that's what you want? I mean, you're free. I'm not gonna condemn anyone for marrying whoever they want to marry. But I myself, I'm a Pan Africanist. I'm a person that's community oriented. Now, people don't have to share those same views with me. But those are the people I like to align myself with because I look at our goal is to overcoming systematic oppression that we've been under for the last 500 years. So I feel that I'm in a war and I need people who are being oppressed to understand this oppression and to fight towards overcoming it. Not having that mindset allows you to do shit like that.
I literally
But
had
if you have the mindset that you're in a war to free black people, to
Yeah.
get the proverbial foot off of black people's throat, your moves, your actions have to be community oriented. It's not just any black woman we're asking you to find. We're asking you to find a woman you can build with. We're asking you find a woman you can build a community with.
Right.
It's not. We're not asking you to go after Cardi B. Okay, that's not what we're asking you. We're asking you to go after someone that, like you, entrepreneur, wants to understand what it's going to take to move us forward because we're tired of being oppressed. Not someone that just wants to make enough money to buy a Benz and have a nice car and live a nice life. That's
Yeah.
not what it's about. Someone that cares about the entire community as a whole.
So
So
what
when I
happens-
speak about interracial, I don't want people to get offended that, I don't like white. No, listen, I'm not into all of that. I'm just into my people. And if you're into your people, there's a certain way you gotta move. You can't be for your people and make other moves because then it don't make sense.
but sometimes you can be for your people and be like me and be single.
And
So
that's fine.
and I've never dated outside of my race, but I have been told all the time by friends, oh, I don't see why you don't. You have the look that other races like when it comes to women of color. And it's not that I'm not attracted to other people. Just I feel like in the line of work that I usually work in, I'm almost always the only woman of color because my profession is in technology. And so when I get these invitations to go out from white men, I always feel like it's less about me and more about they just want to experience, or it's really weird, especially because I was born in Alabama, and I have to tell you that I feel like it's some type of plantation fantasy that some of them have based on the way that they articulate. But spending all this time waiting for the perfect man of color ends up being no children and not married.
But you see, but what I'm saying is once again, it's not in looking at a mate. It's not really it's not marrying a person of color. It's marrying a person
Of
whose
quality.
ideals line up with yours, and you have to understand exactly what you're interested in your life being about, and finding
Absolutely.
someone that complements that. So
Yeah.
whether if
And that can
what
only
your
really
life
be a
is-
person of color.
Exactly.
That's
But I thought it wasn't about being a person of color.
No, but what I'm saying is, what if that's not what you are in your heart? What if you don't give a fuck about the revolution? What if that's not what you're here for?
But it's unfair to say that because what you're kind of saying is that anyone who married outside of their race doesn't care about their race, and it doesn't. That's not true.
I didn't say you
not.
don't care about it. I'm saying don't call your listen. Don't. You're not who I am. You're not what we are. You are what you are.
But why would you align yourself if you do care about your people? And why would you align yourself with anything other? So, in other words, if I married a white woman right now, right, whatever wealth, whatever it is I was able to build up, that I worked hard over my lifetime, that I had to overcome things that she could never understand in my lifetime. If something happened to me, guess what? My wealth gets taken over to the other side. Okay,
Exactly.
so it is
Tiger Woods.
it is an economic. Look at Tiger Woods. She busted his whole front out and took $500 million of his. You know what I mean?
But there's a lot of situations
That's
like
also the
that.
state that he's in.
There's a lot of
But
athletes who do that. There's a lot of people
because
in that.
Yeah, but
taught-
why?
They're
What
taught
if-
that
I don't
the
know.
white
Right.
they want their white princess.
But
Well,
what-
I
They
think,
want their
but
white
I
angel. They want
also
their Virgin Mary.
right. I think it's
Not-
also
not
because they were taught
Sharisha.
they couldn't have them. I
Not
also think it's because and I've just listened to people my age group, people older than me, that and I've seen where you could have a black couple and the wife is there and she's helping, and the black man is going to school to be a lawyer or a doctor, and as soon as he gets his degree, he runs off with the white secretary or somebody else. A lot of these young black men, they
you
go
mean
to
from
school.
from the sister that held him down while he was getting his degree?
Right.
Oh
right,
yeah,
right.
of course. Yeah.
Or you have a lot of these guys, and just from the outside looking in, who struggle with bonquisha while they were in high school, and once they get their NBA, whatever, you see they're no longer with their
Yeah, but
high school
why?
They
sweetheart.
never went through
Because
their rites
because-
of passage.
Because I think
Donnatella.
I think it's also about, on some level in our community, a sign of accomplishment and being successful is having that proverbial fancy car
Right.
and non-black woman and living
Right.
out,
But-
not to mention how much people love, and it probably sounds funny coming from me because I am a big proponent of buying other people's hair, but a lot of people are looking for that light-skinned, curly-haired kid.
But
That is
it's the same thing Bob said.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
religion. We still just
I believe in
If
Jesus
I
and
never-
Christianity, and I don't have those thoughts.
Listen, Donatella, if in 1989, 1990, 1991, if Brother Sam did not give me Malefi Kete Asante's book, Afrocentricity, and say, yo, I need you to read this and I need a report. If he did not sit me down when I was watching cartoons, turn that shit off and put on Khalid Muhammad and made me watch his tapes and not just watch them, but after that, I got it. Like it made then the world made sense to me.
I get
Then
it.
I chose to go to Howard University.
And I
because
did not want to go to a
first
non-black
privilege.
school. Yeah,
I said,
I went
oh,
for a
no.
semester.
Because I got accepted to Rutgers, St. John. Oh no, I don't want nothing to do with these people.
But
I
that's
want
what's
to be
part
in an
what's wrong with
environment
too.
where I
about
can
you.
continue this learning.
Okay,
Because
so-
I had just awakened at 16,
so
at
why
17.
do so many of us see the white woman as the prize?
Slave
Okay,
mentality.
But what I'm exactly
slave mentality, and if we see our savior as that, then anything close to him is going to be the prize. It's the same thing
Yeah,
you
but
said.
a lot of those
If
people who
we-
have
if
that thought
we
are not
don't-
in church in the first place.
That does
Donatella,
not do
that's
with
what I'm saying.
that.
If we are not
The condition-
introduced
No, I'm talking about the religion.
to the movement, if you're not brought into a conscious community or introduced to the movement, you're just out here living. You're trying to achieve the American dream, and the American dream is very simple: go to school, make money, buy my house, get my wife, move out,
2.5
move
kids.
away
from
Yeah.
away from
But they're
your
moving,
family,
but
your
they're
community.
they're
Put
moving
your-
away from the community because the community then busts down the front door and tries
No.
to take what they
Can
want.
we get back to this? Let's take the reason why most men, once they get their contract, once they get I'll give you the major reason why most black men say they married this white woman, right?
Because it's easier.
Black women are bitter. Okay? Black women are bitter, they're this, they're that. Now, they negate the fact that black women have been holding down our race for hundreds
Ever.
of years. Okay? Black women
all
are
of humanity.
black women are supposed to be fucking bitter. Okay? But you as the black man are supposed to understand that because she's been holding us down. She's been keeping us alive. When they were starving us handcuffed, it was her titty that she snuck over and popped in our mouth. Not trying to be, that gave us sustenance to live. And so when we turn around and say, oh, black women are bitter, or oh, they're too argument, they're too loud, are they? A lot of them are. But there's a reason, there's always a reason why. So the sister, okay, she's bitter, but the sister that was giving you car fare and lunch money until you got that contract, she ain't
Right.
shit no more. We have to look at that. And we have to understand that marriage is an economic union. It's not just, oh, I love you and love them. The heart wants what the hearts want. It's money. It's legacy. It's generational. We have to understand that.
It is also building each other. And that's
Absolutely.
the biggest part of what I'm saying. Before I met my wife, I was a certain person. She made me a 10 times better person. Just as I could hopefully say the same thing that I've had that impact on her. And that's what we're
That's not what
supposed
she
to be doing.
said, but
So when you meet that sister that is not ready made per se,
right.
it is your job to lead.
Of course.
And take her, and
course.
and increase her mind and show her things and educate her on what the struggle, what we're doing, why it's important for us to make.
Can
these
a
moves.
white woman, if you're married to a white woman and you just had this encounter with the police, can you come home and sit on the edge of the bed and fucking cry to her and will she get it? I don't think so.
I think she would because it's
No
now
way.
a
No,
conscious.
No way.
So
No,
I'll tell you a real
it's
life
a
situation with that.
consciousness.
I think will you appreciate if she gets it, right? So I had a conversation with a black male from the West Coast, and he's married to a non-black woman. And in his traveling, in San Francisco, they were wearing riot gear. And so there was a conversation held that no matter how much that woman loved him and understood or thought she understood, she never would be able to know what it's like to be in black skin.
True.
And that also kind of brought amongst a situation where, you know, we talked about people in the pandemic and how people were getting to know each other again, and realizing they didn't know each other. And so when you're trapped inside, I think a lot of people were forced to realize, even in those interracial relationships, that they could love each other and respect each other, but still not be able to really feel the pain when
Nonsense.
they see
Nonsense.
But guys,
someone
I
being
really-
died.
I
Listen,
really-
she
I
wouldn't.
really
She wouldn't
know-
even understand the terror you feel when you see them lights in your rear view. She
No.
wouldn't even get that.
Look.
So
But I'm saying she would think that she does.
Let me tell you something. There are a lot of our folks that don't even understand the struggle. There are some white people that understand the struggle better than some of our people.
impossible.
It is not.
Someone said
And
that in here.
and are
Impossible.
sensitive to what we're going through. And listen, they've been here. Listen, this is genuine. I'm not talking about people that are just doing it. No, there are a ton of them, millions on the other side. But you cannot discount. There are some good, normal white folks that understand
Just not Trump.
what's going on and have enough respect for what we're going through to play their position.
Play their position
perfectly,
right now. Now let me correct
right?
something you
but
said.
but that doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you get caught up in the skin, you will not be able to detect a black person with a European mindset. And that's what I'm saying.
Well-
I know many Europeans that have an African
Absol-
mindset.
Oh well,
Is
I
that
do.
is that because they've
And
grown
when I say
up in
African,
those
I'm
communities?
talking about community. African is just about community, about love, about sharing, about equality.
so what you
about
said. So
respect,
what you said
about honor.
last week. You said, "Oh, they're out there dying in the streets. They're getting shot. They're out here with Black Lives Matter. But the majority of them are
Some
white.
of them.
The majority of them are white."
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, now let me explain something to you. The white mind is very focused. Okay, this is what I mean when I say that. Their effort and their mission is to go out and talk about or have civil unrest based on the fact that police are killing us for nothing.
White Republican,
Wait,
right?
wait. That's their
Republicans.
mission.
Yes. You can't make every white person a white ring Republican.
Can I finish?
All right.
Okay.
I'm just making
So
that
even
clear.
when in the time of abolition, right, when you had these people, these Quakers, and all the people that were helping to fund the Underground Railroad, they weren't fighting for us to be equal with them and to move next door to them.
Some
and to
were.
no, none of them were. They were fighting because they thought that it was morally wrong for one human to own another. So when you say people are out there, they're fighting in the street. They're fighting for us
Peter.
they're fighting for us about police brutality. They are not fighting for us to go to school. They're not fighting for our kids to get funded.
For the betterment.
They're not fighting for us. They're very focused
Let me tell you a secret.
on their efforts.
White people love the shit out of us.
Of course, they should.
They stole our civilization,
Of course.
our religion, our culture. They stole R&B. Name it.
They just
They will
stole our-
continue.
You gotta,
Yeah.
Don't
talk
get
up.
it twisted. They wish they could
Absolutely.
run as fast as you.
Absolutely.
They could sing as
They
beautiful as you.
fear black
Fear.
people.
So what I'm saying is, they some of them, but you see, some of them take it the other way. Some of them are threatened, and some of them have true adoration. And what I'm
But
just
even the
saying
ones
is
that are threatened have true adoration. They just
yes, but
They manifest it
they
differently.
manifest.
Right.
They come at you
right.
with the anger and the oppression. And there's some that are just not into that. And that's all I'm speaking is that little lane. But I'm not saying as a black person we need now to go focus and go find those 10%ers. But they're out there, they exist. And
If
if
they're
they're,
our
and if
allies,
they're
they'll
trying to
find us.
help, don't not accept it. Don't shun them because we need to increase that base as well.
Okay.
You know, if they're out here trying to fight and we don't give a shit, like we don't acknowledge them, they'll just let the 90 just keep terrorizing them. They don't care about us anyway.
All right. Once again, we differ. But
But you differ better this week than last week, I think.
like I said, me and Peter are, listen, we're right here.
We're right
We
here.
just do it
We're
for
right
TV.
No, I know, and I feel like I can't remember how long we're going tonight, but I want to make sure if there are any
There are
last
questions.
points.
Remember, we've
Oh,
ignored the
so-
questions.
Can you
So-
read them from there or?
Why went so one of
Our
the
producers can give us some.
one of the comments that I saw, and I think we fixed the sound problem. One of the comments was that there was I think I just forgot.
Nas, do you have any
Nas?
questions?
I don't see any questions.
No,
I'm actually,
that people asked. Were any questions that we haven't?
nah, I actually was responding on the live.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was responding on my phone.
I can't multitask. I got this computer here, but it's really fake. I ain't doing shit with it. I can't multitask.
I'm
I cannot read and talk.
You know,
at the
I
same
feel
time.
like someone said we have really great content, but a friend of mine joined from LA and wanted to know how come I'm like the only person from the West Coast on the live now, and I had to tell him that we haven't actually been publicizing or advertising.
Yeah.
We literally are just
It's
starting the
organic,
live
it's homegrown.
and jumping. But starting next week, we will be advertising. But we will, because we already know who our guest is. You have a guest for us next
Yeah, I
week,
do.
right? So next week, my friend who's in LA,
It's not advertising. What we're doing is we're promoting what
It's the
we're
same
doing.
thing.
No, we're not. No,
Yeah.
advertising now, spending money, and we're not doing that. We're promoting what we do, and we're hoping people like it,
I do
enjoy
He's in
it.
his king seat.
Follow.
I
He's
know,
in
he's
his
on
king
his
seat. Leave him
throne.
alone.
Listen,
It's
it's
fine.
very important to be
It's fine.
clear.
But,
So people can understand.
but
We need
advertise the
people's
same
help
thing.
to promote. See, when you say advertise, it then falls on
Paid,
us.
Yeah.
Promoting, anyone could sit out there in the universe and help share, like, post, and say, "Hey,
Absolutely.
listen,
But
these are
you
my
can-
friends.
yeah.
Watch them
And
too."
they'll do that if we give them the link before 5 minutes before the show.
I'm just talking about you say advertise.
All right. So
Are we
anyway,
on time?
Los Angeles, we're gonna wrap up now because I think we had a really good show. Is there anything you want to end with?
There is no freedom without financial freedom first. I will have information moving forward on how we can how you can discuss that and get into that.
Excellent.
I really think we're opening a platform and a medium. I envision you having a show discussing stocks trading because a lot of us have questions, are
And especially with
interested,
everybody now
you know?
being hit with all those forex
Absolutely.
opportunities.
and on an
People
elemental
jumping in
level,
And our people have been taught to kind of be intimidated by the stock market and it's so above us. No, I can show you how to use their vehicle to bring what I call a kind of forced reparations because nobody's interested in giving us that. So
and what we're doing basically, we're not allowed to dine inside, so we've taken a section of the restaurant and created a studio. So
Right.
if there are other content creators out there that are interested in coming in and shooting here, please contact us. We'll be more than happy. We have everything set up as long as you don't mind the
Our producer's gonna go.
and yelling.
The producer's going crazy with the loud
But,
noise.
we've outstayed our welcome. Lady A is very vocal about that, and we're gonna wrap the show.
And my last two bits. Well, Nikita, is there anything you want to say? Remind people where they can find you and your products.
Oh yeah. Nikita King Artistry, Queendom Cosmetics, and Lit with Love Co. on Instagram and Facebook.
Do you have a website?
For
The Queendom.
The whole
Queendom, I do.
production.
She does.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
of them together, no.
Okay.
that's
I
fine.
kind of do things anonymously.
Well,
Anonymously.
I do.
Before we cut, tell us just some advice to young entrepreneurs starting off a business. What are some of the tips you give?
Don't listen to naysayers. My parents didn't believe in entrepreneurship when I decided that I didn't want to take the school route initially.
And I know her parents, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll have a conversation.
And now
about that.
they're entrepreneurs now because they
course.
understand.
they saw it
Yeah,
work.
they saw
Yeah, if it didn't
it
work,
actually
then
works.
it's
You just have to
different.
put the work in, and just to remain focused and continue regardless of what happens, because things are gonna change always around you, and you just have to be consistent, be passionate. Don't do it if you're not passionate, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Nikita, just full disclosure, she also is a part of the Amarachi family.
Yes.
the bartender, server, one of the best ones. Never
Oh, thank you.
complained, never a problem. Her drinks were always 100%. And I've begged her for years to come back, and
I'm
saying
I'm
no.
busy, extra
She's
busy,
busy,
nowadays
but,
with all this.
we will continue to try as we continue to hunt down all our former employees.
Great. And I'm going to end with saying you have like 60 days to go vote on November 3rd. Please go vote.
And don't just vote for the president, because that's not the only person on the ballot.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
A lot of people get hung up on that part.
the
which
local.
doesn't-
But it is, you listen, we didn't really talk about it, but it is huge that these stadiums will serve as polling stations.
Mhm.
These are all urban centers. These are places that Black people can get to.
That was the point.
But it's only for New York, right?
No,
No, it's
all
different-
across the
different-
country.
yeah.
And now the NFL is also jumping on the bandwagon, making
these
their
reports.
stadiums
Okay.
available. Now, what we need the players, in my opinion, to do is say, hey, listen, free autographs that day. We will be there all day signing autographs. Come out and vote.
Sign your
Yeah.
sticker.
Watch what happens. I think that's
And
in
that's how
one
they
day,
can
if
use
they
their
can sacrifice
platform.
that one day to sit out there, have Kevin Durant right here at the Barclays Center signing autographs, people are gonna go vote.
Well,
And
it is
vote this
it
guy
is a
out of
circus,
office.
so might as well have the jugglers and clowns and shit.
Oh.
When next week,
By any means, Malcolm said it. By any means necessary.
next week we need to talk about Ice Cube's contract with America that he wants to
Yes.
present to Joe Biden.
Yes.
So
yes, please. So you're gonna share that? I'm not
I
even
have
gonna.
it all typed out and stuff. It's just-
I'm not even gonna look
so
at
we
it
can
till you
start
come with it.
promoting
No.
this weekend.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Keita. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.
Donnatella.
It's an
Another
interesting
good show.
conversation.
yeah, another great show.
And listen, if you want to be on the show, reach out to any one of us. We'll schedule you. And like I said, we have more shows coming up in the pipeline. Some solo shows, some duos, some trios. Even performances. We might do some solos. I know we have some.
I will
friends
not
that
be
are-
performing.
No, we have some friends that are the actors, actresses that may want to
Yeah.
do like a solo.
I have
especially that
yeah.
with this whole thing going on.
Mhm.
We got the team here. We can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I want to bring my friend Chris, who's a pop artist, which I think is really different for a 6 foot tall African American male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can set up some music stuff too as well. So,
Awesome.
awesome.
All right,
Great.
let's do it. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
So thanks for joining us. Are you going to turn off the mics and things this time so they're not listening to all of our that conversation? Which is